Hello everyone, my name is Jen and welcome to the Book Refuge and welcome to another Taboo romance recommendation. Yes, it's been a little while. I've done a lot of the really fun ones and I don't quite have enough saved up to do doubles of some of those ones, but I do have a few planned coming soon. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you like to get some Taboo romance recs. And today we're doing a KINK that I enjoy reading quite a bit, and that is actually Primal play. Okay, now if you don't know, for some reason, it is kind of how it sounds. It can be like either within a BDSM scenario, which is usually what it's going to be because you do want to have a safe word for this. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just if there's like chasing and catching involved. Sometimes it's outside. Sometimes it's not. All these fun scenarios involved. And yeah, so that's the thing I will say is, like I said, this is going to be my quickie recommendations because I'm not going to go into like full depth for each of these books, like what's going on, because not all of them have like primal play as a significant part of it. Sometimes it's only going to be one or two scenes. There is like two of these books that it's a pretty big part of the story, like it's like the main kink that they like. But for the rest of them, it's usually involved either with a rape fantasy paired with it, or a more like bigger dark romance scenario going on, and there's like some primal stuff that happens within it. So just keep that in mind. Look at the other triggers when you're going into this, because pretty much all of these, except one of them, are a pretty like dark romance that it's happening within, okay? So just, there's your thing. You clicked on a Taboo rec, you know it's probably not going to be your normal contemporaries, okay? But let's go ahead and dive in with these. I'm very excited. The first one I want to mention caused quite a stir when it came out a couple months ago, and some people will debate whether this is a romance or not. I did a full reading vlog while I was reading this, and I have my conclusion that for me personally, this fit into a romance category. I understand people who say not, because it does have that dreaded term unconventional HEA, which most people are like, no, that means it's not, and I 99.9% agree, and this book fits into the 1%, and it also has some great primal play in it, and that's Pen Pal by J.T. Geisinger, okay? This book is a paranormal thriller romance, okay? I'm saying it, okay? If you go into this book with that mindset that it's a paranormal romantic thriller with an unconventional HEA, and you're okay with all those words put together that I just said, I think you will enjoy this book. And again, you can check out my vlog. I loved this. This one definitely has some primal play in here between Dante and, ooh, dang, I forgot the heroine's name. It's been a little hot minute here. I literally don't remember her name. Whoopsie. Kayla. Dante and Kayla. He even calls her Bunny, which some people got annoyed with, but I didn't have a problem with it. And there are a couple scenes where they are playing out this primal play scenario, and I love it. Okay, I love it. I love it. Another one I want to share, which, oh, I can't wait for there to be more in this series because I loved it so much, is Her Soul for Revenge by Harley LaRue. This is book 2 in the Souls trilogy. You might want to read these in order. I don't know. The first one had a lot of fun kinks in it as well. Some other fun things in this one is like piercings, and also the hero is a switch. So there's a scene where the heroine gets to whip him as well. And there are definitely some chase and fuck scenes going on in this book. This one is Juniper and Zane. And a cult actually tried to sacrifice Juniper previously. And so she went on the run, and she is offered a deal with a demon, which is Zane. And he's actually been keeping all other demons away from her, so nobody else can make this offer because he really, really wants her. And it's Harley LaRue, you guys. There are some fun, spicy things. Let's see if she put the other stuff in here. Yeah, there's trauma, anxiety, mentions of suicide, so know that, domestic violence, and hard kink and edge play, all right? There is knife play, gunplay, public play, voyeurism, bondage, flogging, degradation. Like, it has, this will fit in so many that I'm doing. Like, literally, looking at this, I just realized it's in it fits into another video that I'm going to film soon. So it's all in here. Although Hardly LaRue, she does do really great trigger warnings for the stuff in her book. So know that. Also there's one, and I know this one only has like one scene where it happens, but this one, I just love it so much, is Black Sheep it's by two authors. I can't remember. I actually didn't have this one on my list. It just came to my mind while I was talking, so that's why I'm mentioning it. But here it is. This one has like a female serial killer who takes out cult members, and a hero who is a like forensic psychologist who studies cults. And like, oh, there's so many good things. Like this one had pegging in it as well, but it also has a scene where the heroine and him play hide and seek, which that definitely fits into a Primal Play thing, because she's like, if you find me within this amount of time, you get to do whatever you want to me. So the game is on, everybody. The game is on. It's so much fun. Okay. Then there's one. Now this one actually is like a little bit lighter. This one is called With Force, and it's by Daisy Jane. And so this one, it has Sam and Malibu, and they're actually friends. They're like, their friends have coupled up, and so they're kind of the last couple that's not together. And our heroine, Sam, actually has a rape fantasy kink. And our hero, Malibu, doesn't know if he feels up to doing that. Like, he doesn't know what being in that headspace would do to him. He's also a police officer, and she's a nurse. And he doesn't know if he feels okay with doing this. So this one was really interesting because he doesn't, he doesn't shame the heroine for having that desire. He just doesn't know if he can fulfill it. And I thought that was a really cool take on it, because that's definitely something that shows up in certain books, is that the heroine very much gets shamed for these desires. And he's so into her, like, he does not want her to feel shamed. Again, he just doesn't know if he can put himself in that space, because it's one thing to want the rape fantasy to happen to you, but what about the person who has to perpetuate the fantasy to you, So there's a lot of talking that gets done in this one, and I like it. But the reason why it's in Primal Play is that a lot of the scenarios they act out involve him like stalking her, and they will like set up their play to happen anytime between like when your lights go out and dawn, and so she won't know. And so there's definitely that like stalking and attacking element, and her like fighting and trying to get away. So that's why like definitely fits into like rape fantasy, but it's also, it's Primal Play at the same time. Then we have a really fun one, and I definitely can't wait to read more by this author because I know she's done this kink more. And so there's this quick little novella called The Four Leaf by Lee Jacot. Not sure how to pronounce that, not French. But I've read the first two books in this series, and I know that the next one that came out, I bought it, and that one says it has Primal Play as well. But this one is a Friends to Lovers, and it's on like, this one was a St. Patty's Day one, but they're friends, and she, I think, like found out what his kink was, and so they also play like a game of hide and seek that involves being fucked when you get caught. So there we go. Then we have one, now this is the one I said that, so The Four Leaf, it's a novella, so like the whole thing is about the Primal Play. And then also Kink Camp by A. Anders is about a camp where people can be kinky, and you can set up all different kinds of scenarios that help you find what you're into and also help pair people with similar kinks up. And so our heroine, her name is Grace, and she really wants to do a like Primal Play rape fantasy scenario. And so she puts a posting up on the board. There's this coffee shop at the camp, which is like where she works at, and you can post it if you want it to like be anonymous. And then we have Leaf, who is, I think he's like the groundskeeper who works there. He sees her notice and he agrees to play with her. And so what you do then is like, so that nobody else gets involved in it, like they literally like reserve a time to have a certain part of the forest blocked off so that they can play out their scenario and nobody who's not supposed to be there will wander in. And I was like, this is so cool. I definitely want to read more at Kink Camp for sure. There's going to be more books in this series. So this one, was like, I wanted more development that happens between them, because they actually like keep it anonymous for a good portion of this, and it's really only like novella length. And so we get to see a few scenarios played out, you know, we get the Primal play, but there wasn't enough between like the two of them for me. Like, I wanted to see more of that. Now, there was trigger warnings for grief. I think both her and the hero have had loss in their lives, so there's that. But it still definitely has the Primal play in it, and it was in a very like safe scenario, right? Like, they're literally at a place that's made to facilitate these kind of meetings. So it's definitely the most safe, sane, and consensual of all of these that we've talked about, and I do enjoy that. All right, then we have The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. So this one was about Rose and Soul. This is the first book in her Deal with the Demon series, and really the only one I've like loved a lot. Like, I really did enjoy this one. Sad for me that the rest of the series hasn't been panning out, but that's okay. But what happens in this series is that these human women can make a deal, and in exchange for the deal, they get put into this auction where they will owe a demon for like 7 years, and they will live out that 7 years like immediately, and then they'll get returned to the real world at the end of that time, and they'll get whatever they wished for. So it's like they gotta pay up front, but then if they ask for riches, or let's say they ask for someone to be killed, or they ask for, you know, these different things that happen, they will get it at the end. And also the purpose of this is that these monsters, they get them basically as a wife for that time, and any children that are born belong to them and can be their heirs if that happens. So this one definitely involves a breeding kink. It has a dragon with 2 dicks. She really went for it with this one, for sure. And there is chasing and fucking happening. There's Primal play in this one, for sure. Then we have Red Thorns by Rena Kent. This was one that, at the time I read this, I had only read 1 or 2 other Primal play, and I really, really liked this. It's probably my favorite Rena Kent. Now, those of you who follow me for a while, you know I don't love Rena Kent. This was my favorite one I'd read, and I've only liked 1 or 2 others. I didn't really like the sequel to this one. Anyway, I'm just trying to make a point that, like, please don't recommend me a bunch of Rena Kents, because I've tried many. I've tried many, and I've really only liked 3 of the ones I've tried, and people keep trying to get me to read more, and I just don't know, okay? I only give an author so many chances. It's the truth. But this book had Primal play done, and I really liked it, okay? This one is Sebastian and Naomi, and this starts where they're like pretty young, and they realize they both are into this Primal play thing, and they act it out, and it's fun. It's a good time. Then we have The Hunter by Jenica Snow. This is a part of her like kinky fairy tale series she's doing. So there's one that is like The Beast, and then this is The Hunter. And now some people were expecting these books to be more than they were. Like, she says what they are. They are fairy tale kinky retellings where the beasts stay beasts, okay? Not everyone wants to read that, but like, don't be delusioned. This one is a Red Riding Hood retelling. The heroine moves to Alaska. Her grandmother has died. She's been left her grandmother's place. And there's a wolf who lives there who smells her and realizes she's his mate, and he kidnaps her and takes her to his lair, where she will be his mate and bear his young. And he's a wolf. And she tries to run away, and he chases her down and fucks her and brings her back. That's what it is. People were expecting more. Nope, that's what Jenica Snow said it was, and that's what it is. And it was a spicy, saucy little scenario, and I had a good time with it. She knows what she's doing. But don't expect more than that, okay? It's good. And then the last one I want to mention that I have read is Blurred Lines by Mila Crawford. This is a part of her, like, a series that she did that has like some dark little novellas in it. And this one involves like the hero kills the heroine's mother at the beginning, and she really wants to hate him. But the thing is, her mother was an evil bitch. She just didn't realize how evil her mom was. But when he gets her, she tries to run away, and he chases her down. And there's some stuff happening. So this one has a lot of, like, this one has some non-con, dub-con, the Primal play. It has it all. And he definitely like wins her over very quickly. Like he explains what her mom did to him and she's immediately like, okay, I hate my mom now. Let's be together. So I'm not saying it's perfect, but it does have primal play and it was spicy and it has a lot of taboo things in it that you might like. It was good. So yeah, so then like I do for Taboo Recs, there are 2 that I haven't read that I've heard have primal play in them that I plan to read. So again, Hollow Brave, which is the Leisha Co one I want to read, and then Haunting Adeline, I always say it wrong. I have that one and I've heard that has primal play in it as well. I meant to read that one in October, but my October just really got away from me. So I still plan to read that one. But there you go. I hope that you like some of these primal play books. This kink pairs very well with some other naughty kinks out there, like breeding kink, which if you didn't know, I've actually made a video about that, which you can check out right there. It definitely pairs well with the chasing down and fucking scenario. So if you like this, please make sure you subscribe to my channel. I also do have an entire playlist of dark romance recs, which includes a lot of my taboo recs that I do. Let me know if there's any books you've read that have primal play in them so that we can help each other out here, so that other viewers can find some more recs and I can find some more recs. I would really like that. So thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.